After War Games took place last night, WWE was clearly still in the mood to stick superstars in cages because it booked Kevin Owens to face WWE Champion Big E inside a steel cage. Following their contract signing last week, Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan stepped into the ring to see who would leave as the Raw Women's Champion. We also saw The Miz host an episode of his talk show, Miz TV, with Edge as his special guest, and Damian Priest held another open challenge for the United States Heavyweight Championship. Let's take a look at what happened on tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw, for this is Ridiculously Raw. Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Phenom, Michael Bullock, fresh off a very exciting chat this evening. Not just a Raw chat, but also Patriots-Bills chat. The game has gone final, so sadly there will be no bonus commentary tonight. And also, sadly, Bills Mafia, we couldn't get it done. The New England Patriots keep on rolling. They did what they set out to do. They stole one in Buffalo tonight, 14-10. The New England Patriots reign supreme atop the AFC East. They have taken back the AFC East. The balance of power is theirs once again. A 1.5 game lead. I think we can bump that up to 2 once Brady and the Bucs get done with them on Sundays. So, and your former quarterback's going to make it a 2-game lead. So, unless Buffalo does the unthinkable and pulls one out of their hat on that one, but you never know. But nonetheless, New England wins 14-10. So we'll get into that, on the next NFL show. But this is all about Monday Night Raw this evening, which was live from the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee, the home of the Memphis Grizzlies of the NBA. And we started it off. What a big way to start it off. I mean, you wanted to counteract this big game tonight. You did so with a steel cage match. Big E versus Kevin Owens. Big E wins the match 20 minutes and 5 seconds for this. This was this was hands down the fight of the night here. I'm going to give this about 4.25, teetering on 4.5 stars. Opening the show with 3 quick backstage promos from Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Big E, a la Saturday night's main event before going to the cage match, helped get the show off to a good start. The energy was high, and the match itself was as good as expected. Kevin Owens casually busting out moves like a moonsault and a sunset powerbomb are a good reminder of what he is capable of and how good he is when he puts everything into a match. Seth Rollins interfering made sense. He wants both guys to beat each other up, so slamming the door on both men ensured they remained in the cage to fight. All in all, this was a great way to kick things off and set the tone for the rest of the night. 4.25, 4.5 stars. This, to me, hands down, was the fight of the night, although we had some other good matches tonight. But for my money, this was the fight of the night. No question about that. And that it's not often you see it, but Big E won the match by crawling out through the door. Not often you see that, but nonetheless, Big E wins 20 minutes and 5 seconds. What a way to start with a steel temper cage match.
Yeah, great way to start Monday Night Raw. Incredible fight. 4.25 stars for me on this one. And like you said, the quality of the match was great. I love the interaction by all 3 men, including Rollins, interfering when he needed to, just so that he can get that major leg up heading into day 1. The pay-per-view on January 1st for the WWE Championship, now in the triple threat setting. You really got nothing more to say. This was a solid battle, solid fight. And the thing was, it served its purpose. Big E getting a win, going out the door, which is very rare. Normally you would get some guys who goes over the top. Sometimes you get the pinfall. It's been very rare nowadays where you see someone go out the door to win a steel cage match, but it was good. Big E won it, and it was a solid fight. So, great start to Monday Night Raw. Michael Bullock coming off, like Florio said, his legendary Raw chat, but more importantly, congratulations to now the team that's won 7 in a row. Your New England Patriots.
Congratulations, Bullock.
2-4 start. Now definitely in the driver's seat of the AFC East right now. And the AFC as well, the number 1 overall seed currently in possession of the Patriots as well, going into the bye week.
And let me just say to Bullock before we get into him, Bullock, congratulations. Hell of a job. Enjoy it. Great game. No hard feelings.
Yeah, basically, I mean, what a game this was. I mean, it was a low-scoring game. I mean, it could have gone either way. I mean, either one of our teams could have won this one, Florio, but as Coach Belichick would say, there's more work to do, and there's more things they can improve upon because, I mean, yes, the 1.5 game lead in the division is good, but we need to keep this momentum going. So now, and they got an extra week to get ready because they got the bye week and then a showdown with the Colts afterwards. So, yes, congratulations to the Patriots. Huge momentum going into the bye week. So, yeah, as far as this match goes, I mean, this was definitely the fight of the night. 4.25 stars here. I mean, I love how all 3 of them, I mean, yes, even Seth Rollins, I mean, like you said, he slammed the door on both of them, making sure they beat the hell out of each other going into day 1. And it's not too often that you see somebody win a steel cage match going through the door, but that's what happened. And then afterwards, Seth Rollins tried to beat up both of them, and Big E came out on top. But guys, I can't believe you didn't even address this, but during the commercial break,
oh yes,
Bobby Lashley, yes. The almighty Bobby Lashley, he beat up all 3 of them. I don't know about you guys, but I'm smelling a fatal 4-way because I think Bobby Lashley is going to find his way into this match.
The only thing I can think of, and this is just me, just hear me out on this. Could he be possibly waiting for the winner at Royal Rumble? Because he could jump in, make it a fatal 4-way. If you want to do that, fine. But what if Lashley's waiting for the winner and face off with them at the Royal Rumble? Because remember, Royal Rumble, I believe, is like, what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks after day 1, Anthony? 4? So why not soften these guys up, let the winner of day 1 happen, and then from there, the winner of because if Big E retains, Owens is out of the picture, Rollins is out of the picture, because neither one of them would have a gripe for another shot, which opens the door for the Almighty to have a clear-cut path to whoever is the WWE champion. Only if Big E goes through. Because if Big E loses, now he's got a rematch clause, and there's a possibility he might want to cash that in at Rumble. Then you have the rematch there. Lashley's going to have to wait.
Yeah, I could see that happening, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But I think Bobby Lashley made his point clear. He wants the WWE title either way, so nothing more to say. 4.25 stars. Let's move on, Florio.
Yep. And we move on now to the next match of the night. Well, we got cutout stuff here. One half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Queen Zelina Vega, alongside her partner Carmella. Carmella was in her corner, squaring off against one half of the former champions, Nikki ASH, Rhea Ripley in her corner. Winner of the match in 2 minutes and 5 seconds, Queen Zelina Vega with the code red. And a Queen Zelina win. Bullock, we better do it or else MF will will not be happy with us. He'll go Cerebral Viper on us if we don't do this. So it's time for you and I both to bend the knee. Bend the knee to me lady. That being Queen Zelina Vega. So Queens, yep. All right, Bullet. So we got that. So all right. The action in this match was good, but there wasn't enough of it. With a few more minutes, Queen Zelina and Nikki ASH could have put on a really good performance. Carmella and Rhea Ripley having little to no impact on the outcome was a nice change of pace. You would usually expect outside interference in a situation like this. Let's hope more women's tag teams emerge soon so we can get some variety in this division. Probably about 1.5 or so on that. So there isn't much more to say on that. All right, now we got something very interesting here. The Raw Tag Team Champions, Randy Orton and Riddle, RK Bro, they put together what they are calling an RK Bronament, a 4-team tournament, and the winning team will be the next to challenge RK Bro for the Raw Tag Team Championship. In one match, we had the Street Profits squaring off against the phenomenal AJ Styles and Omos. And later on, we had the Mysterios squaring off against the Alpha Academy. And when Randy Orton and Riddle came out, they were wearing the old school WWE Blazers from the days of when Vince McMahon, Jesse the Body Ventura, and Bruno Sammartino were wearing them on the old Superstars of Wrestling. And I was like, whoa, what is this? And I was floored by that. But nonetheless, we had the first RK Bronament match. The phenomenal AJ Styles and Omos versus the Street Profits. Winners of the match in 9 minutes and 45 seconds via a countout. The Street Profits. MF Omos, let's just say when it comes to Omos, $1 million body, 10-cent mind, because he got a little distracted, a little too preoccupied. He was the legal man, and he got distracted and it bit him in the ass.
He got counted out. And one thing you noticed after that match was over, Anthony, AJ was trying to tell Omos, listen, you can't do that. You know, that's on you. You should not have done that. Omos left AJ high and dry. He walked out on AJ Styles. And Riddle kind of trying to poke the bear a little bit here, sensing the friction between AJ and Omos, and oh boy, I think there's trouble in paradise, my dudes. Look, solid match. Congrats to Street Profits for getting the win. You advanced to the final match, but oh man, this is interesting to say the very least. And yeah, you can say about 2.5. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I could definitely say 2.5 stars as well. I mean, basically, this was a good match for what it was, and yeah, almost got a little too distracted out there, and that's why, his team got counted out, and yeah, after the match, AJ Styles trying to say, look, you can't do that, and the big guy basically just walked out, and yeah, I'm sensing some friction with this team. I'm interested to see what happens down the road with these two, if a breakup is going to happen. So there's really nothing more for me to say. 2.5 for this match. Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little more lenient. I'm going to give it 3 stars. I mean, we have seen these two teams work together a couple of times recently, and they always manage to have good chemistry, especially when AJ Styles and Montez Ford are in there together. WWE continues to limit the time Omos spends in the ring, which means Styles always gets a chance to shine in their tag bouts. He looked great against both members of the Street Profits. As MF and Bullock were saying, the finish feels like the first step in a breakup of Omos and Styles' tag team. Omos got greedy, and his inexperience led to him paying for his mistake. When Styles tried to talk to him after the match, Omos just walked away. So there is clearly frustration on both sides. So that's really all there is to say there. So solid 3 stars for the effort. So with that, let's move on. The open challenge for the United States Heavyweight Championship, the champion Damian Priest, and who stepped up? A former United States Heavyweight Champion in his own right, Robert Roode, accompanied by his partner Dolph Ziggler. Winner of the match in 9 minutes and 40 seconds, and still the United States Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest. He wins it with the Reckoning. But after the match, you saw Dolph Ziggler lay out Damian Priest. And Michael Bullock, you saw what happened. I mean, well, a little something that, our running gag when it comes to Dolph Ziggler majorly came into play. But nonetheless, Damian Priest retains 9 minutes and 40 seconds against Robert Roode, and it looks like Dolph Ziggler might be next.
Yeah, I definitely see Dolph Ziggler being the next in line to challenge Damian Priest for that United States Championship. So I'm going to give this about another 2.5 stars. Well, maybe 2.5 to 3. I'll actually give it. So there's really nothing more for me to add to it. Fine match for what it was. So Florio, it is yours.
Yeah, I agree. 3 to 3.25 stars. For me, this was a fun, competitive match between two guys who are known for their athleticism and endurance. They could have gone another 10 minutes and kept the crowd invested. Damian Priest's potential heel turn seems to have been canceled, as he is back to playing the good guy most of the time, especially in this bout. There was a couple of weeks where his rage seemed like it was leading to a turn, but it never happened, at least not yet. These U.S. title open challenges are fun because they give Priest a chance to work with talents without having to engage in a long feud with each one. I mean, maybe not as exciting as the legendary John Cena Open Challenge in 2015, but nonetheless, solid match here. 3 to 3.25 stars. Damian Priest keeps on rolling, but MF, it looks like he has his next guest coming, and it looks like after getting through Roode tonight, it looks like Dolph Ziggler wants next.
Yeah, especially after that super kick right at the very end. Maybe that might trigger the Beast to come back out again, the demon of Damian Priest. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But yeah, solid match. 2.5 to 3 is my rating as well. Nothing more to add. Florio, what's yours?
All right, very well. Then the first of 2 big women's matches on the show tonight. Of course, the big one, which we'll get into later. But we move on to Bianca Belair, one-on-one with Doudrop. Winner of the match via a countout in an even 13 minutes. It was Bianca Belair. All right. Going into this match, it would be easy to assume it would be another 2 or 3 minute ho-hum diva fight deal. But this ended up being a longer bout with a lot to like. Doudrop finally getting a chance to show off her athleticism was nice to see. She was a great talent in NXT UK under the name of Piper Niven, and if she is used right, she can be an asset to any women's division. Bianca Belair has reached the point where she looks good the majority of the time she is working in the ring. This bout is just another in a long line of solid performances the EST has delivered this year. A clunky finish aside, this was a fun match that showed off both women's better qualities. More of this, please. I would give it 3.5, but because of the countout finish, I'm going to bump it down to 3.25. But it was still I could go as far as to call this the sleeper fight of the night, because you never know with Doudrop, but the EST definitely made her look really good tonight. So this countout finish, this feud must continue. There's no question about that. So maybe next week on Raw, maybe something at day one. I don't know. We'll see. But But for right now, Bianca wins via count on. I mean, she had her up in that KOD, but Doudrop counted out, and she slid outside, just walked off. And if it wasn't for that finish, I easily would have given this 3.5 stars. But it's still the sleeper fight of the night, 3.25 stars. MF, I mean, clunky finish aside, much better match than initially anticipated. We thought this could have been a ho-hum diva fight, but no, Bianca Belair, she made Doudrop look really good here tonight.
3.25, 3.5, solid match. Great performance to say the very least. I don't think there's really nothing more to add. Better match than we all expected. Nothing. Look, Bianca Belair can push anybody to a great match. And for Doudrop, yes, I've seen Piper Niven. She's not only from NXT UK, but she's also from ICW, just like Kaylee Ray was. And she is, without a doubt, a really, really, really good wrestler. Give her the opportunity. She's amazing. And it was a great performance, no doubt about it. To me, incredible night for the both women. They both starred and shined. There's really nothing more to add. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 3.25 stars for me. I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, I could have given it 3.5, but Doudrop basically walking out, and yeah, and like you said, I mean, this match really was good. I mean, it definitely surprised me, and yeah, because of the count out, this feud has to continue. So, 3.25 stars is my rating for this. So let's move on, Florio.
All right, and then we move on to Miz TV. The Miz, his special guest was the rated R superstar Edge, and it set it up. It set up a match, and it set up Edge versus The Miz at day one. MF, what says you? Edge versus Miz at day one.
It's going to be a show stealer match, no doubt about it. I think the way that they did it was absolutely well done. You know what? I love the interaction between the two men because you're seeing two different eras coming together. Of course, Miz and Edge have been known since the very beginning. They know each other really well. They've been in that same era, the early 2000s. And I really loved how they referenced about 2006. And that was really that time where Miz really rubbed the WWE locker room the wrong way. He got himself in so much trouble for his antics back then that a lot of people basically said that he was an annoyance in that locker room. Now you could consider him more of a locker room leader now, but back then he was like, you want to talk about nuclear heat in the back? This guy had major heat in the back. He wasn't even welcomed into his own locker room. He had to dress outside the locker room many a night because of his antics. And they really harped on that a little bit, but didn't really like nod, wink, wink here. But we know the story. We've read the dirt sheets. We know there was stuff that was going on in the back where the Miz was being a jackass. And I loved how they're incorporating it to this battle, and I can't wait to see the match. I think the match is going to be very, very good. Edge versus Miz will be a solid match, and I would probably say sleeper fight of the night at day one. So, Michael Bullock.
Yeah, I love this segment here. I mean, the interaction between Edge and The Miz was just awesome. I mean, like you said, it all spilled into 2006, where, like you said at the time, where The Miz was so annoying. I mean, people, they were pissing all over him, basically wishing he would go away. and look at the Miz now. So yeah, I can't wait for this match to go down. And yeah, and we got to see Angry Edge here tonight. And Florio, as I give it to you, what is it that we always like about Edge?
Angry Edge is always the best Edge. And if anybody disagrees with that, well, wake up. That's all there is to say on that. But anywho, this was the segment of the night. I mean, all right. Say what you want about The Miz. He has had an up and down career, but when he wants to, he can deliver one hell of a promo. His interaction with Edge in this segment showed why he has been so successful in WWE. Edge as the grizzled veteran and The Miz as the bitter former main event player made for a great combination. Both men are trying to get back something they once had, but are going about it in different ways. Edge and The Miz are both great at what they do. This was a good segment that helped sell their new feud and put the match on the books. And MF is right. I mean, the day one match has potential. Very serious potential. So we'll have to wait and see on that. The second match of the RK Bronament, the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic Mysterio squaring off against the Alpha Academy. Is this Monday Night Raw or is this Friday Night SmackDown? Because I could have sworn we saw this a lot on Friday Night SmackDown, especially during the summer and in the Thunderdome era. But a great SmackDown tag team rivalry has now been renewed on Monday Night Raw. Like I said, it was the Mysterios against the Alpha Academy. MF knows this better than any of us because it was on his show earlier in this year, especially like around near the end of the Thunderdome era and a little bit into the Return of the Fans era. But winners of the match, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. It was the Mysterios. Dominic with a rolling up Chad Gable for the win. The Mysterios advance 3 minutes and 15 seconds, the time of the fall. We're going to bypass this. While Dom still has a long way to go on the mic, seeing how much he has improved since joining WWE has been a fun journey. He has kept getting better, and it has increased his confidence along the way. Otis and Rey had little to no involvement here, but it kind of worked. The story of both Chad Gable and Dominic Mysterio preventing each other from tagging out until one of them got the win was something we don't see too often. Chad Gable remains one of the most underrated and underused stars in the industry. This could and should have been longer, but they were smart with their time and they put on a solid show. I'll probably give this about maybe 2 stars for the effort, even though it was way too short for our liking, but it sets it up for next week. We're going to see the Street Profits versus the Mysterios in a number 1 contenders match. And whoever wins this match will earn the right to next challenge RK Bro for the Raw Tag Team Championship. So that could be very interesting there. I mean, especially if the Mysterios win. Do I even need to remind you guys, and especially you, MF, do I even need to remind you guys about the history of Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton? I mean, they have a lot of history dating back to especially that year, 2006. You know, the infamous promo, Eddie ain't up there, he's down there. You know where I'm going. So, but, and the great wars they had over the years, but you never know. Could we get Rey and Orton down the road? I mean, I would love to see that, but I don't know why, but I got this feeling that the Profits are going to end up getting the shot, but we'll see. We'll see. Could we see father and son Raw and SmackDown tag champs in the future? Very possible, but we'll see. So 2 stars for the effort. Then we had Finn Balor squaring off against T-Bar. Let's see. Finn Balor wins 3 minutes and 40 seconds. There was once a time when Dominik Dijakovic was putting on incredible matches in NXT with Keith Lee. Seeing that superstar face Finn Balor would have been awesome. Unfortunately, he has been saddled with this T-Bar gimmick and has never been given the opportunity to show the world what he can do since being called up to the main roster. Except for one time. But this match was solid, but it was nowhere near what we all know it could have been. And MF and Bullock, you guys know where I'm going with that one time. We should know. We were there. We saw it 5 weeks ago at the Dunkin' Providence when he challenged Damian Priest for the United States Heavyweight Championship in that infamous no disqualification match. That ended up being the sleeper fight of the night and damn near stealing the show. And because we all know how that ended up, but this was another 2-star or so effort. So that's really all there is to say there. And now to the main event. The Raw Women's Championship on the line. The champion, the man, Becky Lynch, defending the title against the number one contender, Liv Morgan. The winner of the match, 14 minutes and 50 seconds. And still the Raw Women's Champion, the man, Becky Lynch. I honestly don't remember who's supposed to lead off on this. So I think we'll just do a hard reset here because I have no clue who's supposed to start off. So I'll start it here. Second best fight of the night. I'm gonna give it in excess of 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. A lot of fans have been asking for Liv Morgan to get a big opportunity like this, and WWE finally gave her a shot. This was her night to prove she belonged in the title picture, and she did not disappoint. Becky Lynch was a great champion for her to face because she has a proven track record of being able to have good matches against a variety of opponents. They worked together to create an interesting story inside of a good match. The finish was the only weak point. Even if Morgan was going to lose, the dirty pin did not protect her the way WWE wanted it to. Other than that, this was a fantastic main event that should lead to Liv Morgan getting more opportunities. 3.5 to I think I'll just make it 3.5 stars for the effort. Second best fight of the night. I would have given it 3 3/4, but the finish was the only downfall. But other than that, guys, I mean, this was, like I said, a fantastic event, and it was the second best fight of the night, only behind the KO and Big E cage match. So not much more to say. MF, your girl, the man, remains the champ.
Yeah, 3.5 is my rating as well. I kind of disagree with your sentiment about how this does not protect Liv Morgan. I think it does protect her in a way because of the fact that now a lot of fans are going to be demanding that Liv gets another shot. Liv got, in all intents and purposes, Liv got robbed. She had the opportunity. She got rolled up, and once again, Becky Lynch cutting the back door by putting her hand on the ring rope a la Survivor Series and cost her the match.
Same with Bianca.
Yeah. So I mean, it is definitely, you can definitely say that Liv definitely deserves another shot at the belt. So it definitely does open the door. You can make an argument that Liv does deserve another opportunity and should, rightfully so, be a contender for the title. She looked amazing. She worked what I believe is her best match as a singles competitor, and this was a major spotlight moment for her. The title was on the line. Main event spot on Monday Night Raw, where rumors were swirling that this was supposed to have been the first fight of the night, and they gave her the main event, and she ran with the ball and she delivered. I thought she did incredible. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours. 3.5 stars for me.
Bullock, are you there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Main event.
Yeah, I'll give it 3.5 stars. Just because of that clunky finish. I mean, I could have given it 3 3/4, but yeah, the ending did take away from it a little bit. I mean, yeah, I mean, could I see this feud continuing? mean, I definitely see it. I mean, after the way Becky retained the title, but we'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. 3.5 stars, but it could have been 3.75, but the ending took away from it. So, Florio, it's yours.
All right, and MF, we'll start it off with you for the overall show. Very good show that headlined a very big game tonight.
7 out of 10 for me. I thought they did a very good job. Solid matches throughout the evening. There was a few cutouts that you kind of have to punish them for, but all in all, going up against Monday Night Football, going up against the Patriots and the Bills, and the way that the game went down tonight, I thought they did a solid job. I thought they did a very good job opening it with the steel cage match, closing it with the women's title fight, and both matches absolutely delivered. In between, there was some decent action. I'm not gonna say very good, but there was some decent action in the middle of it. And all in all, I thought it was a very, very well done Monday Night Raw, going up against Monday Night Football. So for me, 7 out of 10. I thought they did a very good job with this. So nothing more to say. And Mike Bullock, I give it to you.
Yes, 7 out of 10 for me as well. I mean, you had some really good quality matches. I mean, you had some cutouts that really left a bad taste in the mouth. But yeah, for them to go up against Monday Night Football in a good game with the Patriots and Bills, I mean, yeah, this was a good show. So 7 out of 10 for me. Flory, what's yours?
I'm going to go 7 to 7.5. I mean, this was one of the best episodes of Raw, maybe since Providence, and let's hope WWE can keep this trend going. The show had good bookends with the cage match and the main event. They tried to give some meaning to a couple of the tag matches with the tournament, but 3 hours is a lot of time to fill. But the show, I believe the show is in a much better place than it was prior to the draft. That's just how I feel about it. So for me, I will give this between 7 and 7.5. Yes, we had our usual amount of cutouts. We had about maybe 3 or 4 cutouts here, but the other matches were all solid to good to great. Throw in that great Miz TV segment with Edge and Miz. I'm not surprised they delivered on that. So there isn't really much more to say on this. So I'm going to get into my my newest Tony take here, and we're going to start it off with the return of first run content of Impact Wrestling. You know, I didn't do a review of this last week because of the silliness that they did on Thanksgiving. It was pretty much all about the Wrestle House nonsense on Thanksgiving night. So I decided to bypass it because there was really nothing to speak of on that anyway. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back into Impact Wrestling, and you know we'll run down what happened this past week as we start the build to the Hard to Kill pay-per-view, which will be the first 2 Saturdays of 2022. I mean, we got pay-per-views back-to-back weeks, but different companies. You know, WWE with day 1 on New Year's night, and then the following week, Impact Wrestling is gonna come at us with Hard to Kill. So, but anyways, we first off on the before the Impact, it was Jake something with a win over Hikuleo. Quite the surprise win for Jake, but well deserved. Then from there, we had the opening segment. It was Moose, or I should say, it was Matt Cardona interrupted by Moose, and then W. Morrissey comes out, and we all know that at Hard to Kill, Moose will defend the World Heavyweight Championship against both Matt Cardona and W. Morrissey. First match of the night, it was Matthew Raywalt against Chris Sabin. And Chris Sabin wins the match in 11 minutes and 42 seconds, 2.5 stars. Okay, first match of the night, but typically Impact openers are much more high action and exciting. The outside action was a bit distracting and felt a bit forced, but I get it. We want to build Mickey versus Deanna, the rematch. Glad Chris Sabin still won, so overall not bad at all. Jonah, the formerly known as Bronson Reed in NXT, He's now in Impact Wrestling, and he went up against Jay Vidal, and he squashes him in 1 minute and 47 seconds. No rating. Glad to see Jay, and it's cool to see him get such a solid reaction from the hometown Vegas crowd. He's a great Vegas talent. It would be cool if Impact used a few more FSW talent for enhancement matches if they're going to continue to work Vegas so often. A lot of backstage stuff. And then we had Savannah Evans versus Rachel Ellering. Rachel Ellering wins the match 6 minutes and 47 seconds, 2.5 stars. The finish was a bit rough because Ellering struggled a bit to support Evans' weight. Nonetheless, it was a solid knockouts match and probably more entertaining than the first time they wrestled. Violent by Design against Rich Swann and Willie Mack. And it was Willie Mack and Rich Swann and Willie Mack winning the match 8 minutes and 46 seconds, 2 3/4 stars. Solid tag match. I'm glad Swann and Mack got the win, but it's another match with distractions, even if it didn't cost them the win. The post-match was also weird if we're just pushing to another Rhino and Heath versus VVD match. Main event of the evening, W. Morrissey and the World Heavyweight Champion Moose went up against Matt Cardona and Eddie Edwards. And it was Matt Cardona and Eddie Edwards. Matt Cardona pinning Moose with a sunset flip for the 1-2-3. 2 3/4 stars. One of the better matches on the show, but everything was just pretty good and nothing more. I'm conflicted on the booking of Cardona losing to Morrissey and now pinning the champion. Cardona versus Moose should be good, but I wish he had a bit more momentum going into it. Honestly, feel like Morrissey is the primary guy who should be challenging, especially after the post-match. 6.5 out of 10. It was not a bad show at all, but it was rather average. The matches were fine, and comparatively, we've had some much worse matches in the past, but honestly, I'm used to at least one fast-paced, high-action match typically to start the show. We didn't get that this time around, and I think the show suffered a bit from that. Main event tag and the VBD tag matches were solid matches, but really nothing special, especially when Impact has had some killer tag matches in recent weeks overall. No Josh Alexander is a downer, but it makes sense as we build to him versus Jonah. Outside of the Rhino Heath stuff, I was into the show for the most part, but man, Impact, I was into the show for the most part. But overall, not a bad week, but a bit slow as we start, to build towards the Hard to Kill event on December the 8th, or I should say January the 8th, rather. So that's really all there is to say on that. So let's quickly run down what we can expect on the next Impact Wrestling. That'll be airing this Thursday night at 8 p.m. over on Access TV. Or for those of you who don't have it, you can await when it uploads to YouTube as part of that Impact Wrestling Insiders deal. They're going to announce the competitors for the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match. There's going to be an Ultimate X match for the Knockouts, first time ever. And the winner of that match will be the next #1 contender for the Knockouts Championship. Mixed tag team match, Mickie James and Chris Sabin versus Deonna Purrazzo and Matthew Waywalt. Eric Young one-on-one with Rhino in a street fight. The Inspiration and the Influence versus Decay in an 8-person tag match. And Rohit Raju will square off against someone we haven't seen in a while, Larry D. So that all goes down 8 o'clock Thursday night over on Access TV or on the Impact Insiders deal on YouTube. So not much more to say there. So let's quickly now get into 205 Live and see what we have here. We had Ivy Nile of the Diamond Mine. She went one-on-one with Erica Yan. Ivy Nile wins the match in 4 minutes and 19 seconds. What would you expect as Nile gets to roll over someone other than a few hope spots? 1 star. Boa versus Draco Anthony. Boa in a delicious squash, 3 minutes and 53 seconds. It was basically a squash, but not what you would call an impressive one. 1 star for that. And then we had the Creed Brothers versus Jacket Time. Creed Brothers in 8 minutes and 54 seconds. Solid tag match that was a little rough to start, but the Creed Brothers just kept dumping Jiro over and over again until it got fun. Again, the potential is here, and matches like this will only help. 2.5 stars. 6 out of 10. Basically 2 enhancement matches and a solid tag match. Makes it an easy watch, and I'll call it an average show, I guess. So that will put the bow on this. So So that will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. We'll be back with you Wednesday night over on MF's channel, Braceway 95, for another edition of the Wednesday Night Mayhem, as we will review the fallout of War Games for NXT 2.0. And, of course, we'll also get into AEW Dynamite as well. Now, MF, how are we going to do the NFL show now that the college show is all done? Are we going to move the NFL show to Thursday, or are we? I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I do believe. Yes, MF.
What did you want to ask?
I was wondering, are we going to be moving the NFL show to Thursday now that the college show is over, or are we going to keep it Saturday? How are we going to do it?
Nope, we're moving it to Thursdays. So yes, you are correct. This is how we traditionally do it. We will be moving the shows now to Thursday nights, 10:30, and yeah, now Saturday is freed up. So so for the remainder of the season, it will be on Thursday nights now.
All right. So you heard it here. Thursday, it'll be NFL Thursday for the rest of the season. Maybe we'll have some bonus commentary. We have a Thursday night football game that night. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be squaring off against the Minnesota Vikings. Definitely some playoff implications for both of those teams. And then from there, Friday night, 11 p.m. over on MF's channel, Braceway 95, it will be the Cerebral Smack Talk, as we will get into Friday night SmackDown and AEW Rampage. And then after that, we'll be right back here next Monday night for another edition of Ridiculously Raw. Monday Night Raw is going to have another tough Monday Night Football game to deal with next week. The Los Angeles Rams against the Arizona Cardinals. Another huge Monday Night Football game. NFC West implications aplenty in that one. So we'll see what Raw does from the Excel Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota, the home of the Minnesota Wild of the NHL. So find out what happens there. So that's it. So until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Mayhem over on the MF channel of Raceway 95 on Wednesday night, Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, the Twisted Angel and First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, Dee Dee Woodson, and of course, always and forever, the man who put it all together in the first place, the Yankee Messiah 401, Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune Force style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Mayhem, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streaming.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you, beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.